So I want to talk about how to reduce the cost of success for people. Now that may seem like, what do you mean by that? Oh, to be successful in Nigeria right now, you find out that, to be successful you have to, it's so rigorous. You want to start your business, people, if you want to go the business way, the staff, they will make it difficult for you. Those you employ, they will want to ruin your business, because of course there's no hope in the air for them, and they are thinking if they don't get what they can from you, eventually they will not find they may not make it. They can't wait for you. They are not even sure your business is going to make it, talk less of being able to provide employment for them for over the years. So to reduce the cost of success, to reduce that exorbitant cost, that thing that requires such heavy things from people before they can succeed, to reduce that cost, one of the things that we need to do is to start creating platforms. Create platforms for making wealth. Create platforms for making wealth. And there are different platforms that can be created. Now, if you have a congregation that is 1 million people, or let's make it 500,000. Out of the 500,000, you may not have more than 10,000 people that are well off. In fact, if you have 10,000 people in your congregation of 500,000 that are well off, it means it's one of these churches in Lekki. So you will have hundreds of thousands out of that 500,000 that are jobless or that are underemployed. Now, creating a platform for them to make it will involve many things. For stars, we already know you create a platform, like Olamide has a platform for musicians, Don Jazzy has, Naira Marley has, all of them like that. But for people to find legitimate work, people who just want to find where they go every morning and come back in the evening, and from all their hearts, they pour their hearts into these jobs just to make something work. All you need to do is to have a business. Create businesses. Intentional creation of businesses, not because the GO wants money, not because, and I'm not talking of creating one microfinance bank so that it's the name of the microfinance bank, it belongs to the church and that's it. So we have a microfinance bank and then it's working. I'm not talking of that kind of just do something by the side. I mean using the same energy, I have said this before, with which you are building the ministry, to build something formidable. Line up your vision and all to build something formidable. Now, when you create such platform, of course, it supports godliness, it supports good living and all that. And that is one way of breaking the power of Satan all over the country. But to preach it and to talk about it, but not go out to make it happen, we will keep talking for a very long time. When I say create platforms, also maybe you are called of God, and so you have a private university. You may not be a pastor, a general overseer that has a church, but you see, when you have a private university, you're already a general overseer of that school. As someone who God has called into doing this, then you see them every day, they are graduating, they don't really have somewhere to work. They don't have somewhere to work. Be creative. It is time to create platforms. Some of them are graduating as IT students. Some of them are IT experts. Some of them are graduating as business admin graduates. There are so many people inside there. They are graduating. Let your practical be the formation of businesses that some of these people will come into when they graduate. The interesting thing is, if anyone is paying ₦1 million to come to your school, it means the parents can actually invest 2 million, 3 million into the person's life. And so it's not even saying that you should come and take a burden upon yourself. We are talking of having ideas and putting them into practice, and making sure you are doing something about absorbing some of these people from the market, so that we can reduce the cost of success in Nigeria, so that we can reduce the cost of people making it in Nigeria, so that they are not desperate to take the routes that are so expensive to them and to other people in the society, just because there seem not to be any other route for them to take. Another way is you also support to build, you can support to build systems, platforms. You can support to build systems, platforms that will absorb these people. Doesn't have to be you. In fact, a church business should be that you are discovering people in your congregation who have the right spirit, who have the right knowledge, and who you only need to back up with whatever resources they need, so that they can also go and save people. While your own business with God, while what God has called you to do is to be in church talking to the people, preaching to them and making sure that they are morally upright, that they are spiritually in tune with God. The people under you all have this equal calling upon their life to go out and do something with their time and with their lives and with their calling, with the talents that God is going to ask them afterwards. What did you do about it? So it is time, as I said in yesterday's video, that it's time to mobilize. That we must mobilize. Not only do we teach and preach to them on what to do, we must begin to mobilize the people on how to, mobilize them to go and do the real work. You are doing great. You are talking to them. You are doing great. You are preaching. You are doing great. You are teaching them. This is what God has called you to do. Fantastic. But just like David, you must now check all the other things that are in your heart that you really desire to do but you cannot do because you have been called to do this. You will now make available the resources that you would have used to do this thing, to back these other people up. You will do it selflessly. If the reason you wanted to do it in the first place is to save humankind, is to ameliorate some of the problems we have, then you will not find it difficult to support other people to do this, knowing that your reward, you will still get your reward for them doing that which you supported them to do. So we must support to build platforms. For instance, if we are talking about music, and we have different platforms, Olamide is supporting some, Naira Marley is supporting, we have different organizations supporting this, different one of these guys supporting people to do what they are called to do. Now, if, for instance, that is, you want to now support your own, you want to support your own to do same thing, to, so that, sorry to say, these guys that are supporting, they have their own habits, they have their own way they are living already. And some of them, when they support, you buy into their ways of life. You buy into their smoking, you buy into their drinking. Please, I'm not criticizing. It's not that is very far from what I'm doing right now. I'm just saying, this is what they are sponsoring, and so some of what they are will rub off on the people. But when you support your people to do this, and of course we know that it will be cleaner platforms. It will be platforms raising godly children, raising godly youths, godly people. So it's time to support platforms. The third point, which I'll just mention briefly, is that you can also lobby existing platforms to abide by godly rules. I will make that another video.